Hello, and welcome back to another podcast episode with Brittney Bundles. You are listening to the Brittney Bundles podcast, where we empower people through entrepreneurship. And today we have a very special guest with us. We have Victoria Brody. She is the educator of trade school, specializing in helping people gain confidence and financial stability. So, hi, Victoria. I'm so happy for you to be here.
Hi, I am glad to be here. I'm glad you invited me to be able to share with you what it is I do. So do you just want to, do you just want to know?
Yeah, I'm going to open the floor up to you. I'm really inspired by what you're doing. I follow you on Facebook, and everything that you're talking about aligns with what we talk about here on the podcast as far as empowering people ultimately through entrepreneurship. So
Right.
I'll turn the mic right over to you.
Okay. So, my name is Victoria. So what I actually do is I teach moms. Definitely not limited to moms, but I am a mom, so I understand what it is to have to be in corporate America, working super hard, being away from the kids every day. So I teach moms how to invest in the foreign exchange market, so that you are not forced to choose between being there for your child or working a 9 to 5. You're able to gain some financial stability, trading in the foreign exchange market, gain confidence to be able to step out from that 9 to 5 into entrepreneurship. So that is what I do.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting. And we have never had anyone on the podcast that has spoken about investing in the foreign exchange market. So for those of us, because I'm included in this, that really don't know much about investing in the foreign exchange market, what are some key pointers that we need to, I guess, educate ourselves on? There's a lot of people that post different things, and
Right.
honestly, I don't know which ones are scams and which ones are legitimate. So what are some things we should look for?
Right. Um, so honestly, I before it so looking at the foreign exchange market, I started originally because of the pandemic. Like, I was out of work. I didn't know um what I was gonna do next to get money, because I was out of work. So I was introduced to the foreign exchange market through a couple different people, and obviously social media is going wild right now with trading forex. That's probably what you see all the time. All you need to trade forex. So basically, what you are doing when you're trading forex is you're trading currencies in the global foreign exchange market. So every single day, the value of every currency, it goes up and down. So like in Japan they use the Japanese yen, in Europe they use the euro, and we use the US dollar, right? Um so basically, like, on a hindsight, the easy most simple way I can explain it is so say you want to take a trip to Paris, right? And you take $500 with you, and you decide to go to Paris. So when you get to the airport, if you want to spend money in Paris, you have to change your money to the euro, right? Because you can't spend the US dollar in Paris. So you get to Paris, you get to the airport, you go to the exchange center, and you trade out your US dollar for the euro. So say at the time when you're trading out that US dollar for the euro, say it's on that day it's like a 1 to 2, right? So basically €1 would be worth $2, right? So you give them $500, 500 US dollars, and then in return they're going to give you 250 euros, and that's the 1 to 2, right? So say when you come back, so say you decide to just keep that euro, right? Say a friend was like, hey, I got you, I'm gonna spend my money on this trip. you keep yours. So you keep your euro, you want to just save it. So say 2 months down the line, so you come back to the US, right? 2 months down the line, we back in the US with our European dollar. We save it just for keepsake or whatever. So 2 months later, you decide that you finally want to exchange that euro dollar back to USD, right? So say 2 months later, the exchange rate has gone up. The value of the say the value of the euro went up or whatever. And so say it changes to a 1-4. So now the euro is worth $1 and the US dollar is worth $4. So when I go back and exchange it, now I'm changing that $250 and they're gonna give me $1,000 back. That's basically what you're doing. But you're gonna be able to do that from your phone. So every day we're capitalizing off the movements of the exchange of the different currency pairs based on if they're going up or down. That's the most simplest way I can put it. Now when we get into the market, obviously it's going to look a little different because you're going to use different strategies based on like analysis on where we predict the currencies to go. And that's how we make our money in the market.
Where can I sign up? No, that sounds really interesting. Okay. I like the way that you explain it. That is simple because sometimes when I ask, what does this mean? I don't know. It's a lot.
Right.
But I like that. Okay. So how would you, or what would you recommend to those listening that are interested in gaining confidence to transition to entrepreneurship? Because we both have children at home, and that's one of the big perks I know for you and for me, to be able to be at home with our children and to not have to choose, like you said, between going to work and raising children full time. So what advice do you have to those listening that want to gain confidence to transition from their 9-to-5 into entrepreneurship full time?
Well, I would say first, I want to plan because a lot of people, like, you see a lot of cliche stories, basically like I was down to my last $2 and I decided to step out on faith. But if you don't have to do that, then don't do it. Like, plan first. You can use your 9-to-5 as a stepping stone into entrepreneurship. You can save your money. You can start your business on a part-time level first, and you can see what it is that you'll need to go full-time entrepreneur instead of actually just jumping into it, because you want to try not to have that downfall of being down to your last $2. So that's what I say is the most important, is just planning it out and not just jumping out here because everybody else is doing it. Because it's easy to just want to do that and thinking it's just gonna be
which
peaches and cream.
brings me to my next question. What's the biggest challenge that you faced as an entrepreneur?
So for me, I'm gonna say since I trade, obviously it's a lot of people trading and I educate people on how to trade. So it's a lot of educators out here. So the biggest thing for me right now is comparing myself to where they are, right? Because I just started this journey, literally just started this journey in March.
And you are killing it.
So I'm trying, man. So just comparing myself to where they are, that just, it can become a negative spirit on you when you get into the habit of comparing yourself. You just got to stay in your own lane, and it's your journey, like it's nobody else's journey. And then some days, obviously every day, I don't get people to want to be educated by me. It's other people out there, right? So some days business is slow for me, so just having that extra push to want to keep going the next day and not getting discouraged, because I didn't do anything for that day. That's a big deal. I mean, that's a challenge for me right now.
Well, I can definitely relate. There are some days, I mentioned this on a video that I recently created on my YouTube at Brittney Bundles, that not every day is a great day. I don't get an order every single day. And I think that's why it is important to have multiple streams, because if I'm not selling hair, then I'm on my podcast. If I'm not on my podcast, then, I can network and do something else, maybe a consultation or
Right.
another service that I offer. So, and then also comparing yourself. I know that's something that you're not alone with. A lot of people, even myself included, have found myself and, others comparing and saying, wow, am I doing okay? I mean, this woman just made $1 million selling the same products that I'm making. I didn't get one sale today. So, looking at not just the amount of money that you made, but actually, like you said, your journey and what have you learned? Because what's for you is going to be for you. So, yeah, I can definitely relate to that. How do you balance motherhood and entrepreneurship? I know that's another struggle.
Ooh, that is a struggle in by itself. If you notice, I have to like certain times I actually have to be away from them. When I'm on, like right now, I'm on a call, and I don't want them, like, just obnoxious at a time like this. So so scheduling is super important when you have children, because if you can stick to a schedule, then you can basically schedule around them, you know what I mean? And then also just like letting them be involved too, because you can get into this journey and you can be so deep into your work that you can forget about your kids. So it's just like you're working a 9-to-5 at that point. So for me, like sometimes I try to involve them in the charts when I'm marking up. I teach them what I can. I mean, they're only 3 and 4. So like I say, hey, look, we're looking at candlesticks right now. Tell me what did I tell you this does, or you know what I mean? I try to involve them with what I'm doing. So it's still fun for them, and I'm not always working.
I like that idea. So involving them in what you're doing. I found myself doing that as well. And I saw my middle son, he was in his room. He had one of my little stands, and he was not even trying to, he was actually doing a really good job. He was talking to some of his stuffed animals. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, I'm talking about my business. I said, go ahead, baby. So I think incorporating them, even if they don't understand the full picture of what you're doing, they're definitely going to respect the fact that, mom is going after her dreams. And that's something that should keep us motivated too.
Like just, I want them to have the knowledge that I lacked right now. Right. You know what I mean? Like it took me until I turned 26 to learn a lot that I feel like I should have known coming out of high school. You know what I mean? So and that's because my mom lacked that knowledge. All she knew was 9-to-5, and she worked hard every single day. So I feel like me getting them involved right now, like by the time they are grown and ready to get out of my house, they're gonna be ready for the world.
Right. I completely agree with that. And that's why I think it's amazing what you're doing. You're actually teaching people how to become free, how to break some of these barriers that a lot of times we didn't even notice were there. Exactly. I also thought that 9-to-5 was just the way to go. You're just going to work, and there's nothing wrong with working a 9-to-5. There are 100% that choose to, still be an entrepreneur and work 9-to-5. But it is challenging. It's very challenging to work outside of the home with smaller children, especially if you're a single parent. So I know that you teach people how to become financially stable, like you mentioned. Tell us a little bit about your courses and services. How can we connect with you to start on this path of financial freedom?
So what we offer right now, we actually just launched our 90-day accelerator course. We launched that I think it was like 3 or 4 days ago. So what you will have access to if you decided to purchase the course, so you're gonna have access to our curriculum. Our curriculum basically teaches you exactly what the foreign exchange market is, and then it teaches you the very basic of the foreign exchange market to the advanced of what you would need to know to be a profitable trader in the markets. We offer personal development, and then we have a group chat where we just have a little over 30 students right now, mentees, and you just be in a group of like-minded individuals, all working towards the same goals. You'll have one-on-one access to all four of our educators. We have weekly calls. I think we have 7 calls a week where we mark up charts. We teach you our strategies. And then we also have a signals chat that you'll have access to. So basically, during your learning process, obviously you want to make money. Like, you don't want to be learning for 90 days and you haven't made money. So we send out signals that our educators analyze on a daily basis for you to be able to make money while you're learning. And then I believe the last thing we offer is live trading calls. So we have live trading calls throughout the week as well. So you're able to place trades live. So if you didn't catch the signals, you're actually able to get on that call and trade live with us. We do some scalping sometimes. That is something you'll have to that word you'll have to learn if you become a mentee. But we do scalping where you're able to capitalize on trades as well. So that is what we offer here at Trade School.
How can we link up with Trade School? Like, what's your website or social media handles?
So my social media, my Instagram is just Vic Brody, VicBrody. I have a link in my bio there that you'll be able to find the actual website to Trade School. But the Trade School website is just www.tradeschool.center. And then you can always just DM me on Instagram if you want to know anything about Trade School or what we do as well. Because I always answer my DMs on Instagram, and then I have Facebook. I'm pretty active on Facebook, but those are the only 2 social medias I have. I do not have Twitter. I deleted Twitter a while ago. I don't have Snapchat either. I know 26 without Snapchat. Who am I? But
I didn't say anything. I was okay.
I deleted Snapchat a while back too. I don't know. It just I don't know. It was just something that I needed to do for a while, and I just never got it back. Those are so mainly Instagram and Facebook is where you're gonna be able to find me. My name is just Victoria Brody on Facebook, VicToria Brody, and you are able to connect with me there.
Okay, well, that sounds great. So any of you interested, like I am, in learning about the foreign exchange market, feel free to contact Victoria Brody. She's also on Clubhouse. So if you're on Clubhouse, make sure you connect there as well. I'm on Clubhouse as well. So hopefully we can do something there too. Do you have any final words or closing statements that you want to?
Anything that I would recommend, like, obviously I am just fresh on my entrepreneurial journey, so keep chasing your dreams. Don't ever stop. Don't get discouraged. It's hard, but it's worth it.
Yes, I definitely agree. Well, thank you again for being a part of this podcast. Again, if you want to connect with Victoria Brody, feel free to reach out to her on social media. If you do want to be a guest on the podcast coming up, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is btalks@yahoo.com. Thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you on the next podcast episode.